You just need to put yourself out there. You just need to go on dates. Okay. Let me show you guys the most recent 2 guys who have liked me on the magical app called Hinge. First guy says, I will fall for you if you're plus sized. And the next guy says, I go crazy for plus size women.
Who are these guys? Who are these chubby chasers?
I do think people genuinely mean well whenever they are encouraging you to put yourself out there and try to go on dates. But I think what maybe some people don't understand, especially being a bigger girl, is we just don't always have the options that maybe some of our friends have. I guess, yes, we can pool, but we pool in a different type of way.
Sexual. Yeah, sexual. I mean, there are a lot of chubby chasers out there, man. They'll bang these fatties, right? They'll do it all day long, but they won't really commit to them, or they'll, even if they do for whatever odd reason, they'll continuously keep their options open, right? They'll be looking for just a thinner woman, right? But I think guys know instinctively that they're just easier, right? It's easier to sleep with a fat chick than it is a thin chick. I mean, it's easier to sleep with a 40-year-old single mom than it is a 20-year-old single woman with no kids. It's just easier, and guys realize that. So, yeah, I don't know what she's complaining about.
Sometimes we have those guys that want to like fetishize, am I saying that right? Our bodies. We have the guys that want to slide in our DMs. We match with the guys that want us to just come over to their house.
Yeah, I don't even think it's really like a fat fetish. It's just that some of these girls are a little overweight. I knew this too because my buddy, one of these guys I used to hang with in my 20s was a chubby chaser, right? However, like, I was amazed at how pretty these girls were, right? He had problems getting the thinner ones. He did every once in a while. It was kind of like, hit or miss. But almost consistently, he was able to get, like, a chick who was a bit overweight, never obese, but just kind of fat. But really pretty, right? Just beautiful face. I was shocked. I mean, some of them I was like, wow, dude, I would crush on that chick, and that's something that's easy to fix, right? I mean, yeah, you just put her on a treadmill, you put her on some keto diet, keep her away from the carbs and the sugar. Man, that weight can come off and you got yourself a hot chick, right? You got yourself a hottie. But who's to say if she puts the weight back on? Because I think he got a couple of girls to do that and lose weight, and then somewhere towards like the middle of their relationship, the chick started eating again. I mean, it's very hard to stay thin. A lot of fat people are able to get thin for a little while, then they just put that weight back on, right? It just, your old habits die hard, as they say. However, yeah, a lot of these chubbier fat chicks are really pretty. I mean, even the thing that is hard these days, even my ex-buddy Chubby Chaser said was, he admitted, like, if we were going to do this today, he was like, on the dating apps, he goes, I would not be as successful as I was back in the day before dating apps. And I do understand that, right? Because he's like, even these chubby chicks that have like really beautiful faces, those chicks, their DMs are full. They're getting tons of guys messaging them. Maybe not wanting a relationship, but at least messaging them because they want to see them. It's like, hey, this pretty face, I don't care about the body. Whereas back when we were growing up in our 20s, this is probably like the 90s, right? Even the 80s, I remember. These chubby chicks, people were embarrassed, right? People would, I mean, you guys are part of my generation. Any of your buddies dating like a fat chick back then, that dude was like, no matter how pretty she was, he was like, you were hiding, right? You're hiding. You don't want nobody to see you. And we used to have a saying that dating a chubby girl is like riding a moped or something. It's all fun and games until until a friend sees you. So yeah, back in the day, this was embarrassing to do, but yet it doesn't take away from their attractiveness, right? Outside of their fat body, I mean, they would have like a really beautiful face, and guys would do it. There was probably one or two girls I dated, back in the day that was, they weren't like obese, but they're probably like a good 10, 15 pounds overweight. They were just so pretty, so beautiful, it didn't matter, right? I mean, I didn't really date them seriously, but I didn't mind, like, going on a few dates with them and, like, macking and all this, because they were just so beautiful, right? Not all, but there are a lot, at least back then. And it was so much easier to get these girls in, today, like on a dating app, you're going to actually face competition for these girls, which is crazy because back in the 90s, before dating apps, these chicks were desperate for like a decent looking dude to take them out. I mean, these chicks were not, were not anybody's prize back then. They were much easier to get.
We just come over to their house. We can meet guys at the bar who will want to go home with us. But rarely it feels like, can we find the guys that actually want to take us out on a date? So I have this one guy that I matched with on Bumble about like a year ago. When we first matched, we were actually like texting. I was like, oh my gosh, like I think he's gonna actually like ask me out on a date. Nar. Which is fine, whatever. We still somewhat keep in contact, but only over Snapchat. I don't want to hear it. I know it's red flags. I know Snapchat is red flags, but I do have some guys that I like to keep on Snapchat just to like, for a confidence boost. But anyways, this guy always asks.
That's another thing, guys, is she's talking about keeping guys around just for a confidence boost. And I think I did this coaching video like a couple of years ago where it was a statistic that 40% of the women on dating apps are not even looking to date. They're just looking for attention. Okay, just looking for attention. And I also went further on that because I wanted to warn you guys who are on these dating apps, if you come across somebody like that, who you feel is just using you for attention, is just kind of stringing you along, 99.9% of the time, it's always going to be somebody who lives outside of your state, outside of your city, even outside of your country, because they know that distance is going to keep you apart. But the second you try to get her to come over, the second you try to get her to fly to see you, there's always going to be some excuse why she can't. So that's how you know these chicks are just stringing you, and I don't want you to waste your time, right? They're always going to live far away. You know who's not going to try to pull this on you? Is chicks who live in your own zip code, your own city. They're not going to try to just use you for attention. You know why? Because you're so close, right? There's no excuse for them not to meet up with you. So if anything, they will just not respond to you because you're too close to them. They can't pull this on you, and they're going to look for guys who are further away from them where they can pull this on them and just kind of string them along and keep them at bay and just use them for attention and validation. But it's very, it's not cool to do this to people, man. I can't even believe she's admitting that. But that's probably why she's getting karma and payback. Guys are doing this to her, right? Guys are just doing the same to her and just kind of using her for what they want.
For a confidence boost. But anyways, this guy always asks me to hang out, but he will only invite me over to his house. And this has been ongoing for like a year. And I have told him multiple times, like, I don't feel comfortable coming to your house. Like, I'd rather just go for drinks. In fact, there was one time where I actually was like, you know what? I'm bored with my life. Let's spice it up. Okay, I will come over. Man never followed through. I was like, okay, I'm never agreeing to hang out with this man ever again.
He changed his mind, man. You gotta strike while the iron's hot, girl. He realized, like, no.
Unless he literally wants to take me on a date. And about the point where I've been there, done that with...
You want some guy to take you on a date, drop about 75 pounds. You'll get more guys wanting to take you on a date and not just have sex.
Like matching with the guy, going to their house, them coming to mine. I mean, literally, just the other day, he hit me up and he was like, I have like all this tequila, like if you want to ever come over. I was like, dude, like we have talked about this, like it's not happening. I don't know, and it just makes me think, like over the last year, not once has he ever thought like, okay, like I'll just take this girl out. But then at another point, he proceeds to tell me that whenever he matches with girls on dating apps, he knows right away if it's going to be a girl that he wants to take out or if he wants to just hang out. I was like, you realize that like you never asked me out? It was like, oh yeah, well I did want to go out with you, but I don't remember the reason why we didn't. Basically, my point in saying all this is that sometimes there's just not dates for us to go on, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's my rant for the day.
Yeah, I mean, she's totally ridiculous because she does have dates that she wants to go, that she could go on, but even her being as overweight as she is, still wants the top level guys. And she has the same problem that any other female who is trying to get guys out of her league has, where you can't get the guy to show up, you can't get the guy to do anything outside of come over. It's because your standards are too high. That's all it boils down to at the end of the day. The funny thing too is a guy who is her size, a fat dude who is her age, same looks, even better looking than her, is not getting messaged on the dating apps, right? He's not getting the amount of response that she is able to garner. But, you know, I mean, these chicks can't appreciate the fact that you're even just getting guys wanting to do anything with you, right? And the simple matter is you know, you're overweight by you not being able to put down the fork, right? You not being able to cut out the Twinkies. So all you have to do is that, and take on some personal responsibility, lose the weight if you want, you know, higher quality guys to show up and not flake, right? Because she's still young, she could pull that off, but I don't think she wants to take any responsibility for that and just put the fork down or get on a better like health eating regimen outside of fast food. But as always, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below, and I will see you there in my... Drop those comments below, guys. I'd love to hear them. And till next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Do it for the DeLorean. Smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you guys actually subscribe to my channel. So please make sure you're subscribed to my channel as well. And for all you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I am teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close. Thank you. This car gets so much attention, it's crazy. How to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. The same exact type of women that I teach my students all over the world to go out there and approach and close. And we're making it happen every single week, guys. I kid you not, every single week, all over the world, no matter what kind of pandemic is going on, no matter what kind of virus is going on, we are making things happen and continuing to live our lives 24/7, 365 days a year. And I want you to join us. And it's the best way to support my work as well. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. And it's real easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. All right, my hightail out of here. Yeah, it's really difficult to shoot in this car, guys. It just gets so much attention, but I've been getting a lot of requests from you guys like, hey, shoot vids while you're driving. And I'm like, okay, A, that's dangerous, but I'm keeping my eyes on the road. I've got the camera kind of like mounted to my windshield right now. But B, the biggest reason is it's really hard to shoot in this car with people like honking and waving and whipping out their cell phone cameras like, oh my gosh, it's DeLorean. Yeah, so until next time.